Introducing the Leadership Journey. Son, mission operations is called Operation Head Start. It's considered a hothouse for NASA leaders. If you're coming to NASA, start there. That advice from my dad set much of the course for the rest of my life. After finishing graduate school and a tour as a United States Air Force satellite operations officer, in June 1990, I found myself at 28 years old in the Home Organization for Mission Control, NASA Johnson Space Center's Mission Operations Directorate, MOD. Although best known for mission control, MOD was responsible for all human spaceflight mission planning, training, and flight operations. I was hired to help plan the construction and operation of what would become the International Space Station, ISS. The space stuff was cool, incredibly so, but I quickly learned there was much more to MOD and to becoming somebody than just mastering the cool technical work, and the cool technical language. Every day in MOD, mixed in with the rocket science and space jargon, I also heard peers and managers casually using phrases such as steely-eyed missile man, tough and competent, conscience of human spaceflight, ultimate consequences, leadership, and failure. While it sometimes sounded like they were actually speaking another language with their unique geek speak and love of acronyms, the mission control veteran's straight talk and unabashed leadership focus had me at hello. I felt at home right away. Now I just needed to learn the mission control trade, earn my place among my fellows, and maybe become a leader in this hothouse for NASA leaders. No pressure. As time went on, I noticed more and more contrast in the typical behaviors between MOD and our peer organizations in NASA's human spaceflight community, both individual and organizational. The contrast was most pronounced in the distinct moral undertone in our work, an undertone that MOD saw in righteous terms, but which others often interpreted as sanctimonious and arrogant. Woven through much of the daily MOD business was an adamant awareness of the potential, if not likelihood, for failure. This wasn't some failure in the abstract or something that happened to someone else. This was failure in a very personal and visceral way, one that could be truly catastrophic. Blow up the rocket and kill everyone on board, perhaps even innocent bystanders if we screwed up even worse. This was failure that could never be allowed, must remain impossible, and yet had happened before. Nevertheless, that scary genie had to be kept in the bottle at all costs, and we were the ones who ultimately were responsible once the operation was underway. Over the next 6 years, as I worked and learned, I was surrounded by reminders of this awesome and terrible responsibility I was now a part of. At the same time, I was struck by the reverence for leadership and problem solving. I worked on a variety of engineering challenges and studies as MOD participated in developing the space station design and prepared for on-orbit construction and flight operations. Throughout what seemed like endless redesigns and close calls with program cancellation, I worked on progressively more complex and comprehensive projects and took on higher-level leadership roles within MOD. In 1996, I was selected with 4 other technical leaders and managers to be one of the first International Space Station flight directors. This was one of those grab the golden ring moments. The public is most aware of flight directors from the white vest-wearing portrayal of Gene Kranz by Ed Harris in the movie Apollo 13. Among other things, flight directors are the people who have led the teams that planned and conducted every U.S. human space operation from mission control since the beginning. Most prominently, flight directors are in command of the flight control team and have the authority to take any action necessary to ensure the safety of the astronauts and spacecraft. I had become the 40th in history. I spent the next 9 years as a shuttle and ISS flight director, developing missions and leading operations for both spacecraft. Personally, I benefited incalculably from the seasoning that comes from leading high-stakes decision-making like that, especially in the trial by fire that describes even normal days in mission control. More importantly, I also became keenly aware and a steward of a morality that existed in the mission control.